Hey everyone, welcome back to Metanoia. My name is Carrie Jane. I'm on a recording spree. Every weekend, I guess, is just going to be me recording videos every day for the foreseeable future because we're quarantined. I can't leave my house. So it's interesting feeling this YouTuber life for the first time. I guess this is how it is for other people who have YouTube channels and that's their main source of income. That's all they do all the time. For me, this is just a hobby, so this is new for me. But I'm liking it so far. I enjoy having this constant dialogue with you guys. Of course, everything that I'm recording right now is posted a little bit in the future, but nonetheless, this is an experience for me. I hope that these videos are well received on your end. Today we're going to be talking about a specific number sequence that I have been encountering a lot lately and for a long time. At least a few months, but potentially I feel like I started to see this for the first time around November. So now it is March 2020, the end of March 2020, and I've been seeing this number for a very long time, this repeating number sequence. Typically, every morning when I get up and I'm in the middle of my routine and I just happen to look at the clock, and then also in the evening when I'm just usually hanging out after dinner and I look at the clock and I see this number. But also, I have seen a little bit in dabbles on license plates and, everywhere you normally see it, like on your receipts and stuff. So, for the longest time, I was trying to figure out why I was seeing this sequence. I know the rudimentary meanings of this number. I had an inkling on why I was seeing this number a lot, but the way that it kept following me around and the combination of what was happening while I was seeing this number has kind of put me in a position where I feel like I'm actually meant to be talking about it with you guys now, not just something that I talk about personally, but I feel like this message is not just for me, it's for all my viewers, and I think that's why I'm seeing it a lot. And so, because of that, I'm actually going to put the intention out there to the universe, which I've never thought to do before, to send me number sequences that carry messages that would be useful for my viewers, whatever you guys are going through, what needs to be talked about here. Because I don't do a lot of card readings here. Numerology is my main thread, my main access point to metaphysics, and so this is what I'm going to be doing. I don't know if I'll light a candle or whatever, or maybe even just kind of put that thought out there every day or whatever, but I'm definitely going to open that door to whatever or whoever's listening to send me these things from now on in the future so that I know what needs to be talked about with you guys. The number sequence that I'm referring to for today is the number 717. So let's begin with breaking down the individual numbers first. So let's begin with the double number 7 that we see. That is the dominant energy in this sequence because it's occurring twice. We see two number 7s. 7 is faith. It is a divine presence, typically. It is, when you're seeing any kind of number sequence and it has a lot of 7s in it, it's not just faith, it's like also there's a divine presence here to some extent. For you personally, that's going to mean something different, okay? Sometimes that means dead relatives. Sometimes that means guides. Sometimes it means just source itself, just, we're all here together. We all have people who are really rooting for us here, okay? So it could be just everything in general. It is just a general message from the non-material world about having faith, I think. In my opinion, it is usually when we're doubting something, or maybe we're not living in fear too much. Maybe we are kind of afraid, but maybe we're just doubtful about something, or maybe we are stressing out about something or having a hard time being our own cheerleaders, It could be any of this, but generally speaking, I think that for many people, if not most people, the message is about faith. Now let's talk about the number one, okay? The number one is initiative. It's willpower. It is striving for success, and it's a very courageous number. And I think that's why a lot of people see repeatedly by itself when they embark on something new, because it takes a lot of courage to leave your old beliefs behind and start a new project. It takes a lot of courage to embark on this spiritual journey if you were seeing this in your so-called awakening or whatever, okay? So that's what the number one is about. When we blend these two numbers together, I'm seeing I'm seeing an attention, like trying to draw our attention to our divine purpose. Where are we neglecting our divine purpose, essentially? And for me personally, I know why this is nagging me, but I don't know you and I don't know your daily existence, so you're gonna have to do that work for yourself, okay? But what are we doing that is with and not with our divine mission here, essentially? And one of the things that's kept happening to me, along with seeing this number sequence repeatedly, is I kept getting this one song stuck in my head over and over and over again. So much to the point where I just kind of wake up and I sing it to myself every day because I feel like it helps me. And that is the song Warrior by Aurora. And if you're not listening to Aurora, I don't know what you're doing with your life, because even though she is not a main center point in this spiritual community or whatever heck that is, whatever that means, she is the embodiment of a lot of what we're doing. And her lyrics, if you closely examine them, do come across as someone who is going through the same exact things we're going through. And her songs are so beautiful and have such deep wisdom, and I've never related to lyrics more in my life than I have to Aurora, and that's why she's my favorite artist slash singer-songwriter. So I'm going to leave the link to that song in this description of this video, as well as I'm going to just copy and paste the lyrics if you don't feel like opening up a new tab right now. But yeah, and I'm actually wearing her merchandise right now. You can't see all of it, but it says "You Cannot Eat Money," and that's from her song "The Seed," which is an activism song about the earth and what we're doing to it. And she's this lovely, light-spirited, almost childlike kind of joy and innocence type of person, with the way that she dresses, with the way that she speaks, who she is. But then you listen to a lot of her songs and they're very confrontational. They have a very steady beat of amazing percussion, which is something I don't think we get enough of in our music. Personally, I need a good percussion to like a song most of the time, to some extent, not all songs, but I do notice my favorite songs do have a strong percussion like that. Anyway, that's a side note. They're confrontational, and she is a warrior, like the song that she wrote. And like I said, I'm gonna copy and paste the lyrics down in the description, but I wrote here just something off the top of my head that's basically I've just been singing to myself on a daily basis. Let love conquer your mind. Just reach out for the light. And in between this, she's singing warrior, warrior. I am a warrior, warrior of love. And so this has been stuck in my head, and I've been singing it every day now. It's been getting me through a lot of stuff. And I think it's tied to this message. I think this message is about our purpose of being a warrior of love. I think we're being recognized in this way, and also being asked to closely examine our thoughts, okay, and our which eventually translate to our actions, okay? That's why it's so important to be always kind of from this perspective, examining our thoughts and how they are consistent or not consistent with being a warrior of love. I'm also saying this too because the number 1 and the number 7 are considered what I call mind numbers. Like, they're of the intellect. 1, 5, and 7 are kind of grouped together in that category. But I also pulled a card for you guys because I wanted to add to it. And I asked the deck basically along the lines of something like, what message is my audience on YouTube meant to receive in light of the 717 message? Like, what angle should I try to focus or take it from regarding my audience, not just, what I just said already. And we got here the 10 of Cups. So we have a message on emotional fulfillment here, guys. What are we neglecting? What emotional part of ourselves are we neglecting when we focus too much on anything, something that is hurting us? And this is what I mean by being aware of your thought patterns, because they can hurt us emotionally. What are we telling ourselves is an obvious one, A lot of us are hard on ourselves, but I think what is particularly relevant now is what part of the hysteria of the current events that we're facing are we spending too much time on? We should not be in panic mode. We should be in alert mode. And when we're constantly scrolling right now through our Facebook feeds, and this is relevant for the past and the future too, when we're just constantly scrolling, we're getting a lot of scary stuff, We're getting a lot of scary stuff in our feed on a daily basis, especially now at the end of March of 2020. And our thoughts, our focus gets pulled into other directions, whether it be what I just said or something else, okay? So what are we neglecting? What part of our emotional selves are we neglecting in this process where we are being called to be a warrior of love? We're being called to a divine mission. I'm also going to read the book real quick because it's a short message and I really like it. I really like this guidebook. The 10 of Cups encircles you in joy. You are love. You are loved. You are golden. These sentiments may sound sappy, but it is not saccharine. There is a genuine sweetness to this card. Set aside cynicism and embrace the colorful waters offered to you here. It is a time to be directly in the flow of life, contributing to the circle we are all a part of. Consider ways you might consciously create good feelings. Care for yourself. So this is a time for self-care, guys. Care for your chosen kin and embrace a joyful sense of belonging. That is hard for us to do. The last part, I think, is to feel like we belong on this planet. And for all of us, that's for different reasons. But a lot of us do feel like that when we truly walk in the light of being a warrior. I think it's easy to get sidetracked and neglect our emotional state because we're in a constant state of service, and we have to often maintain a kind of mental focus sometimes, and perhaps we are neglecting some emotional parts of ourselves in the process of doing that. It's hard to say how to fix this because in a way we are isolated, especially now more than ever, and in a way we are alone now more than ever. And in a way also it will kind of always be like that. There will always be the sensationalism and the fanatics and the people who are consumed by anything other than love, their own ego, their own agenda, their own traumas that they make other people's issues, their greed, anything, okay? It's really hard to be living in this world right now, and it is for this reason that we have to really figure out how to take care of ourselves now more than ever. So what can you do today or this week or this month to experience a kind of emotional fulfillment? There are things that we cannot fix right now and that we cannot control, but we'll always be able to control how we deal with it. So figure out what you need and figure out how to get that. And if it's not something that's accessible, figure out an alternative and reach out to people. There has to be someone, at least one person in your circle who you can at least express your thoughts and feelings to. You know, there has to be at least one person if that is what you're in need of. And on the other side of this, I think, is what we're seeing in this card. I really do think that. I think when we weather these storms and we consistently try to stay within the boundaries of being a warrior of love, on the other side of this is this outcome right here, okay? This is not necessarily just a right now card. This could be an outcome card as well. How nice that looks. I hope to get there one day myself. If not in this life, the next one. But hopefully soon. So, thank you all so much for watching. I hope that I covered what was meant to be covered in this message. I have to admit that right now I feel like there's something else, but it's not apparent to me yet for whatever reason. But there's always something left unsaid, and that's why there's always another video. So I'm going to be at peace with that and move on with today. As always, please like, comment, and subscribe so that those who are meant to find my channel can. If you would like to schedule a reading with me where we can talk about your numerology chart and other situations that you come across, like repeating number sequences or like trying to figure out what to do with your life, etc., just check out the links in the description and let me know if you have any questions. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys are doing well today, and I'll see you all soon. Take care.
Let love conquer your mind. Warrior, warrior, just